Okay babes, today I'm going to share my Accutane journey. Now, I debated making this video because Accutane is a rather controversial topic, but in the end I decided, you know what, I just don't care about that. It is something I've been through, it is something I've tried, and I know there's a lot of other people who have been in the same boat as me or who are seeking help and trying to find information on Accutane. So this is just me sharing my journey and my experiences with Accutane. Now, I do want to mention before jumping into this video that I tried many things before Accutane. I'll touch on it a little bit, but throughout this whole process, I have been vegetarian. So I have been vegetarian going on 7 years now. And the only really animal products I've had within those 7 years have been eggs, cheese, and Greek yogurt. So keep in mind that I wasn't having any meat and I was having very little dairy products. So I know that that wasn't the root cause of my acne initially. I've been struggling with acne now for the past 5 years and on and off throughout high school, but just the normal hormonal acne. When I talk about acne, I mean cystic acne. I didn't have just a few spots here and there. I got it really bad. Another thing about my acne is that it is very seasonal. So during summer and spring, my skin is usually pretty good and 100% clear towards the end of summer. And then every time it hits winter, my skin just goes downhill. Every year I cross my fingers and just pray that this winter I will not get acne. And every year it comes back with a vengeance and it gets worse and worse and worse. So over the past 5 years, I've really tried to heal my acne naturally using just natural products and eating more organic and just healthier and listening to my body. While all of this did help, it was never a cure for me. So everything I tried, I have tried so much. I do not want to get into it in this video though, because it will probably be an hour long if I get into it, but you can just imagine I have tried every single thing on the internet, every single thing that people have recommended to me. There is just lists and lists and lists and countless dollars that I've put into trying to cure my skin. That also being said, Accutane was not my first choice. I have been going to a dermatologist and my family doctor throughout this past 5 years, and we have tried 2 different kinds of oral antibiotics, both of which I highly regret taking because antibiotics, as I'm sure you know, are not very good for your body and they're not good to take long term. And at the time I was about 18, so I just didn't really think too much about it. I didn't do much research. And I really regret not putting more effort into looking into the things that I was going to be putting into my body, because I found that the antibiotics had a really negative effect on my stomach. While it did clear my skin for the time being, when I was on it, my skin was clear. When I got off it, it came back. But it actually ended up killing all the good bacteria in my stomach to the point where I was getting yeast infections, and I had to take pills to actually reverse the effects and put bacteria back into my stomach. So I really do regret that. After taking those antibiotics, I said, okay, no more antibiotics. I will not try that again. So we did try 2 topical serums, both which help, and they do dry up spots when I get them and get rid of them pretty quick. But once again, it's not a preventative. It does not cure it. It just kind of makes it go away quicker and makes my skin heal faster. So I was looking for something that can just get rid of my acne and just cure it once and for all. Over these 5 years, I was offered Accutane again and again from my doctor, from my dermatologist. They said, I think Accutane will be the answer, is what I kept hearing. And I was just being pretty stubborn at the time. It's not what I wanted yet. I didn't think it had gotten to that point. You know, I'm still pretty young and it's still hormonal. So I was like, I'll keep doing trial and error and we'll just kind of hopefully figure this out without taking the step of Accutane. Now, this was all up until this past winter. So winter of 2018, my skin completely broke out. And I will insert a photo right now. So as you can see, I have severe acne. This was new to me. I always got pretty bad acne in the winter, but this was a whole nother story. Like, my face hurt and every single day was a battle with myself, emotionally, mentally, just physically. I did not want to see people. I just wanted to stay in my house, and I just didn't want to look in the mirror. I didn't want to accept that this was me, because I never ever felt this way about myself before, and it was very hard for me to grasp, especially having a boyfriend, having a job, and being in school. I had to be out of the house a lot. I didn't have the choice just to sit in my room, lock myself in there like I wanted to. Being a server, so in the service industry, where I have to talk to people constantly, was really hard for me to do, especially the fact that I worked in a bar and I looked like I'm about 14 with my acne did not help me. And honestly, I can't even express, I know if you're going through this, you understand what I'm saying, but you can barely find the courage in you to leave the house and look people in the eyes. I cannot express to you the amount of times, even my closest friends, I just didn't even want to look at them, because even though I'm having a conversation with them, all I'm thinking about is my skin. They're looking at my skin. How can I hide my face? Like, oh, it's just the worst, most depressing thing that somebody can go through. And I know it's just skin, but it is so much more than that. It really, really can take a toll on a person, and I salute you if you're out there going through it, because it is not easy, it is not fun, and it takes a lot of courage and a lot of strength to get up and do the things that you know you have to get done in the day when you have such severe acne. So at this point, I was eating in a very organic manner. I was eating a lot of fermented foods, a lot of kombucha, kimchi, everything just to try and heal my gut, because I really believe that the gut has a lot to do with your skin, and a lot of little things like help, but it still just wasn't doing the job. So I agreed to go on Accutane at this point. A thing about Accutane though is when you start Accutane, you're supposed to go on birth control, because you cannot get pregnant. You cannot get pregnant, and you cannot get pregnant. And I'm not on birth control, and that wasn't something I was really willing to go on, just because I tried it in high school in the past and it just did not work for me. I did not like how it made me feel. So I decided there's no way I'm going on birth control. I told my doctor this, and they're like, you have to go on birth control in order to be on Accutane. And this is kind of where you just have to know your values and stand your ground, because I know that's not something I wanted to do. So I assured them I will not get pregnant. I will not get pregnant. I will not get pregnant. And after I kind of just assured them, they were like, okay, then you don't have to do the birth control. So I started off on 20 milligrams of Accutane, and the only thing I noticed on 20 is that my lips were very dry. And a lifesaver for me was the, it's not chapstick, it's kind of like Vaseline, it's called Aquaphora. Ask your dermatologist or doctor for it, because they can give it to you, and they gave me a bunch of little samples that lasted me the whole time, and I'm not joking, it was a lifesaver. So Aquaphora is necessary while on Accutane. So the first month went by and everything was good. My blood test came back good, because you have to get a blood test every single month while on Accutane, just to check your liver function and make sure everything's still going okay. And then after that month, I bumped up to 30 milligrams. Here I started to notice a lot more dry skin, mostly on my arms, my hands, and my face, like where my acne spots were, they were getting quite dry. During this point, after this was on 2 months now, I started to get the purging. So my skin started to get really red, really bad. I'll insert a photo here. So that was the purging, and this was kind of discouraging, but once again, I had watched a lot of YouTube videos on other people's Accutane experiences, and this was kind of similar to what they had been going through, so I knew to expect it, but still when it's happening, it feels like, how is my acne getting worse? So that was a bit hard, but after another 2 weeks, it started to actually clear up quite a bit, which was very relieving. So for my dry skin, I was using the Nivea Repair and Care lotion. It was just a thicker lotion, so I really, really liked that one. And I just put it on every single night. Even though my skin wasn't super dry like a lot of people, I just didn't want it to get to that point. After 30 milligrams, so this was my second month, on my third month I moved up to 40 milligrams because everything was good on the 30. On 40 milligrams, I got 2 nosebleeds, but I'm very prone to nosebleeds, so I'm not sure if that's what it was from. Could have been just because I was a bit more dry, but it was nothing out of the normal for me. Once again, the lips were very, very dry constantly. I had chapstick in every jacket pocket, every purse, like wherever I was, I always had chapstick no matter what because I ensured I had it in every bag ready to go. I noticed another big thing was my hair. I had no oil in my body. Now this I absolutely loved because no one likes oil, no one likes grease. So I only had to wash my hair once a week. I would wash it every Friday and I didn't even have to. I just did it because I knew I hadn't washed my hair in a week. But honestly, if I had gone out that day, people would have thought I just showered. That is how little oil I had in my body. My face never got oily, nothing was oily. So you can imagine that I really had to try and put oils back onto my body. Every single day, I would put coconut oil in my hair and on my face before going to bed. And I'm not kidding you, it would just eat it. Like normally if you put coconut oil in your hair or your face, you look really oily, kind of greasy, your hair gets really greasy. You couldn't see it. I did it every single day and my friends were just like amazed because my body just would absorb it and just take it all in. I do hear that some people get hair loss while on Accutane and everything. I'm not sure if using the coconut oil, if it just wasn't an effect for me, but I never experienced anything other than that. I stayed on 40 for 2 months and then I was going on vacation. So on Accutane, you cannot be in the sun and I was planning to go to Mexico. Now, I am in school full-time Monday to Fridays and I also have work at night. So I needed this vacation. It was on my reading break and I was like, I need to go. This is happening. I've got to go. So I talked to my doctor and I was like, so what can I do in order to go on this vacation? My doctor recommended that I just stop taking my Accutane for that week and then pick it back up when I get home. So I was like, okay, sounds good. I stopped taking my Accutane the night before I left. And then my first day in Mexico, I felt good, but that night, my skin felt so burnt.
Like if you touch my skin, I felt like I was burnt.
Like everything hurt. But if you looked at me, it was really weird. I didn't have a burn. I wasn't even red or pink really. I just felt really burnt. So I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. I was kind of scared that I was gonna wake up with like blisters or something because I've seen some people's videos on Accutane and going in the sun and it wasn't pretty. So I was a little nervous, but I woke up and my skin was completely fine. I looked okay. I had a bit of a tan and the rest of the trip, my skin was good. Keep in mind, if I knew we'd be like going out on a boat or something that day, I would wear a long sleeve shirt just because it's not smart to overexpose my skin to sun, especially from being on that medication. So I was cautious. So I was in Mexico for a week and I came home. Now I've been on the medication for 4 months. And once I came home from this trip, I kind of noticed that my mood was elevated. I felt a lot clearer, a lot more energy. And I'm not sure if it's because I just really needed a vacation, but my mood, everything about me just felt a lot better. And I connected that with being on the Accutane. So after that, I decided I didn't want to go back on it because if it really was affecting my mood, I didn't want to take anything that would kind of hinder with that. And it really took me getting off of it for that week to even notice the mood change. So I stopped taking Accutane at 4 months. I'm fully pleased with that decision. I've been off of it now for 3 months. And what I've noticed about my skin since. So Accutane definitely cleared up my skin. It got rid of all of my active acne. Unfortunately, because I did have a lot of active acne, when the acne kind of dissolved, disappeared, my skin was so dry from the Accutane that it couldn't repair itself. So it didn't have the elasticity, it didn't have the oils to really fill out dents where the acne was. So what I've noticed from Accutane is that I have really bad scarring now and really bad pigmentation. Now I know the pigmentation can go away, it'll just take a few months. It's already gotten a lot better over these 3 months, but the scarring, won't really go away on its own. I've been taking a lot of vitamin E, orally, topically. I use a lot of turmeric, a lot of aloe vera to try and really repair my skin. So this is something I wish I knew before going on Accutane, because I honestly don't think I would have gone on it knowing I was going to get scarring, because no matter how bad my skin got before, when my skin cleared up, you never would have known I had acne. I will insert a picture of my skin when it's clear. So my skin, no matter how bad it got every winter, no matter how much acne I got, it would always completely heal itself when it was clear, and then it would have the flare-ups, etc., and go bad and then clear. I'm very thankful that Accutane cleared my acne, but now I am left with scarring, and it's something that I think you should be aware of as a side effect that could happen, because it wasn't something I was really searching about when going on Accutane, because I had never really heard about it. But once I experienced it, I started Googling about other people who have scarring from Accutane, and there's actually a lot of people who have experienced this as well. And I really, really wish I had known about it before going on Accutane. And I do believe that I will find a way to heal it. It's just going to take a bit more time. So that was overall my experience with Accutane. So mostly just the dry lips, a bit of dry skin, a few nosebleeds, no oil really in my hair, and kind of a dampened mood. I wasn't ever very depressed, but definitely a lower energy vibe for myself. And scarring. So scarring was the biggest thing that I take out of this, and is the biggest thing that I kind of want to share with you, just to do your research. Now, if you have really bad acne and you think I'll take the scars, then go for it. And that being said, a lot of people don't get scars too. It really depends on the person. I just want you to know my experience and one of the possible side effects from Accutane. Now I'll quickly show you my skin. I'm glad to be back and making videos again, and please let me know if you would like to see me cover anything else about Accutane. If you have any further questions, do comment down below. Also, if you have any tips for healing scarring, preferably naturally. I love doing do-it-yourself at home things, so if you have any tips or tricks, just comment down below for me to try, and I will definitely try them out. So please do not forget to give this video a like and subscribe down below, as this all really does support me and encourages me to create more content. So thank you for watching.